Is the UN doing anything to help Afghanistan? And do you think there will be an exodus of Afghan refugees to India? What is the UN, United Nations, doing in Afghanistan? The UN is uninvolved in Afghanistan. The UN is doing absolutely nothing in Afghanistan. Isn't it the duty and the entire purpose of the UN to help people who are in need, to prevent wars from happening, and to mediate in these conflicts? It is the very reason for the existence of the United Nations. And yet, the UN is entirely and completely uninvolved in Afghanistan. They may have been making some pronouncements. They may have been tweeting about something about Afghanistan, but it's just words. It's like Gandhi saying, I am against partition, but not actually doing anything against partition. Words are meaningless unless they are backed up with actions. So the UN is doing nothing in Afghanistan. Like I have said many times in the past, any multilateral organization exists to serve the interests of its most powerful members. And the most powerful members in the UN are currently the US and to some extent China. So the US wants to withdraw from Afghanistan. The US wants these events to play out as they are happening right now. So the UN is essentially allowing it to happen. The UN is a tool in the US toolbox. Will there be an exodus of Afghan refugees to India? Well, it can't happen unless there is a direct land connection between India and Afghanistan. On the map, we have a border with Afghanistan, but that part of our territory is currently occupied illegally by Pakistan. So if there is to be a refugee influx into India from Afghanistan, it will only be possible if it happens through Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. I don't think the Pakistanis will allow this. So I don't see any exodus of Afghan refugees into India unless it is with the agreement of the Indian government and the Taliban, in which case they could come by air. So recently there have been a few flights coming from Kabul to India with the approval of the Taliban, in which several Afghan MPs, members of parliament, came into India. They reached Delhi and they will be given accommodation somewhere in Delhi, I suppose. So that is also happening only because the Taliban has agreed to it. There is some sort of understanding between India and the Taliban as to allowing these Afghans into India.